Hey guys, happy Mother's Day to you all. So, remember that flower that we made that turned out really good? Well, I'm going to make another one, but I'm going to use two opposing colors. So the last one, we just used a dark forest green, and then we mixed white with some dark forest green, and those were the only two colors that we used besides white. This time, we're going to use some fuchsia with orange because I want to make a focal that I think you guys are going to absolutely love. But before we get started with this is why I've already made the Skinner blend. Here, let's finish this. We have fuchsia, white, and orange. Okay, so we got a little bit of the light pink and a little bit of the light orange. Before I start that, I wanted to show you the necklace that I made. I think you guys remembered from that Makumi Gani, but I'm going to change it. So I've got some little strips of orange and whatever on there. I mean, I really like the focal, and on this one, instead of making the tubes all the way up, I added some matte beads that kind of, I don't know, it just gives it like a little contrast from these are all polished, and then they go into the matte beads. But I don't like the tubes that I made. My ends aren't really straight, if I could say that. They're kind of puckered on a couple of them, and I just don't like the finished product, so I want to remake the tubes. So I've got a bunch of all these little orange pieces here to do that after this video. We're just going to try and remake this. But I just wanted to come in and showed you what we kind of did with it so you can see. So the only difference obviously from the other one again is just that we added the matte round beads to it. I like it, but I just don't like the tubes. So we're going to work on that hopefully later today. Alright, so now we're going to do the flower, and the reason I got all this together off camera was because I wanted to make the focal bead in the same video, and I'm trying to keep it from being extremely long. Now hopefully I can remember how I made that last one. I kind of browsed at it real quick, and I think I remember. It's fairly easy. So again, we made this into an extremely long piece. Okay, we're going to make this a little big. And if I wanted to do it the right way, I would have done the orange and the white by itself. I would have done the fuchsia and the white by itself. And I would have put them all together with the white on top. But this time we're just going to kind of mix it around, and we're going to actually have like the other one where the fuchsia is going to be up on the top and so is the orange. And I'm not going to worry about reorientating it or anything like that. I'm just going to leave it alone, and hopefully it'll come out really good. But I'm not really as excited about this flower as I am with the focal bead that I plan on making with this. Okay, so I'm going to just do the green or the orange on the top. But before we do that, we're going to cut it and put it all together one by one. So I'm going to go to 3 inches here. You can go 3 or 4. Okay, we just want to make sure we got all the air bubbles out. And I don't normally use this because it usually takes the top layers and it doesn't really bring out those middle layers. So it's easier just to use your hand. Okay. So we have 4 inches. I'm going to cut in half. Okay. Oh my God, see? I already forgot, guys. I can't believe it. I already forgot what I was trying to do. So, okay. We're going to take this to 3 and that one to 3. Should have watched that video just a little better, I think. Oh well, it's always something with me. but that's okay. So again, we're going to make the orange. When I first started this, I started to take that orange and put it into a triangle, and it was like, no, wait. And no, I didn't want to wait. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3 with a little bit left over, which is fine. Do that to this one. Now if I wanted to, now that I have that cut in half, I could literally take the pink. Maybe that's why I did it, because subconsciously, right, we were thinking of doing it the right way. So if I were to do it the way it should have been that last time, it would have been like this, and then the pink would have been the pointy. That way it would fit side by side perfectly. The pink would always be on the top and the orange was always going to be on the bottom. But by doing it that wrong way the last time, it gave us the pink and the, well, it gave us, it didn't. It gave us the green on the top. So it blended a little better because it was only one color. So I don't know how this is going to look, but I'm hoping that it'll look as good if we use a couple different colors instead of one color with just a tone, different tone to it. I guess we're gonna find out, right? And this is a lot of clay, so I hope that it works out really well. Okay, so now we've got the 3 inches, and we're gonna cut that in half. Okay, so this is what we did last time, right? This way we're going to mix them both, top and bottom. Okay, I know it looks kind of funky, so we'll just do it this way. So I'm using the ends here. It doesn't matter which way you do it, but just so that you can see it a little better, we'll do that. Okay. And again, you can cut off a little bit off of your end here. Well, not quite like that, but Oi. To square it up, yes, I didn't put enough, so you don't have to do it. And I didn't take enough off anyways, and it really doesn't matter because it's all going to get squished. Okay, and then we're just going to reduce it and cut it. So I'm going to make the first cut on camera, and then I'm going to go ahead and shorten this video since you already know basically what I'm doing. Okay. I wanted to make these focals all week. I did make one, but I didn't like the color combo that I used with my other flower, which is why I am making another flower, because I think this will look much better. It is a bright pastel-y bead. I loved it, and I have a feeling I'm going to be in here making a whole lot of them this week. Whether they're focals or sets, I really liked it. So I'm hoping you'll like it as much as I did. And yeah, you know what, we're going to take the thin part here. Okay, so just like the other one, we got that funky look. don't remember how many times that I reduced it. But I'm going to go ahead and hit pause, and I'm going to go ahead and reduce. Probably, I'll count every time. We already did one. So I will tell you how many times I did it, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so we've made 3 cuts in total, and this is where we're at now. Okay, so we're going to go to 3 inches here. I don't want to go any more because we're going to put that little black piece in the center. So we're going to still be reducing this a little bit. So I just want to see how it's going to look when I get it to that point. So 1, 2, 3. Go a little longer. I'll just go to 4. Let's see how that looks, right? Okay, so that's going to be perfect. So now we are going to turn it into a petal. Oops, I don't want that to come up. Just want to round it. I am babysitting somebody's dog today, so you might be hearing a little loud boof. It's a I don't know what kind of dog it is. It's a Dachshund and something else. It's very long, but it's long haired, and I know she told me what it was called, but I can't remember. It's my son's girlfriend. They went riding today, so I'm babysitting duty today. Alright, so now we have 2. So we're going to take this to a 3. And as you know, we're not going to know what this looks like until the final piece. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and make this into a triangle. Doesn't really matter which end I use, since it seems like the pink is on both sides. Alright. Okay. And I'm going to need black, which means I'm going to have to get up in a minute here. So I don't know if I told you that I had a floater in my eye. Had a scare. Thought it was a retinal detachment. It wasn't, thank goodness. But I have not been able to see. It's about a week now. When did I go in? I think I went in Monday. No, it happened Monday night. I think I went into the doctor's, I think it was Wednesday. And, yeah, they did the dilation of the eyes and all of that. But the floater hasn't really moved. And it's starting to, like, upset me or annoy me because it's not moving. And so my eyes constantly feel like they're really blurry. Okay, let me go grab some black. I have some translucent already. And I usually do the centerpiece at a 5. And I start on the bottoms first to give me the 2 side pieces, and then I do one directly in the middle. And you can basically use as many of these as you want and just keep cutting. And I mean, you can put like a bouquet in the center if you wanted to. I'm just going simple by doing a total of 3. Okay, so I'm gonna need one more piece, so I'm gonna kind of slide that off like that. But yeah, I couldn't cut straight before. Could you imagine right now? I don't know what it's gonna look like. So hopefully, they say your eye will start ignoring it, but it could take up to 6 months. I'm like, I don't have 6 months to wait. But I guess I really don't have a choice, do I? Okay, so we got a nice little round circle there. Okay, this one's flattened just a little bit. So we're going to open that up. Okay. And the only thing we're going to do now is take this to 3 inches and put one more in the center, and then we'll take it all the way to 6. And I'm going to wrap this with pink, and I'm not going to forget to do that today. I think I did on the last one. Okay, so we're just going to kind of round it up. Ooh, ooh, nice save. Okay, that should be good. Nope, I haven't got my blades in yet. Okay, so we're going to go right there with the orange. Let's put that right there. We'll go about right there. Okay, now we're going to put them back together, and that's it. So now we are going to reduce this. We're going to have 6 petals, so we're going to go to 9 inches. And I'm going to cover the outside. I'm going to get it a little longer. And then I'm going to cover the outside with a little bit of the fuchsia. So you're going to just take it and cover all the way around. Okay, and you're just going to kind of round it as you go. Okay, so let me go ahead and cover this, and I'll see you when we get 9 inches. Alrighty guys, so we have it to 9 inches. So we're going to cut them each at 1.5. A couple couple of them are going to be a little bigger, I think. That's right there. And right there. Okay. So this is what we got. Whew, that's really bright too. But again, we're really not going to know what this looks like until it is done. So I'm going to go into my little box of canes here. And I'm kind of thinking of, I don't know, coordinating it with the green that I've already got. So I've got this green. If I do it with the color that I use, it'll be this. That doesn't seem real bright. I mean, I could even use the same color, but nah. It's probably one of the hardest things, is trying to figure out what colors to put in the center. How about a yellow? No, I want to do something coordinating. So I'm either going to do, nope, definitely not. That blue one was so bright, it really stood out, but I think with this being so bright that I'm not going to get anything that is going to be as bright, if that makes sense. I mean, that's cool. The flower that we're going to be using it with is that. Okay, well, I'm going to have to figure out which center I'm going to use. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I did last time by putting the translucent in between. I will go all the way up to the top like you guys have told me. And we'll come back when we actually cut it into a flower. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, we are there. And I'm not really going to cut these too much. I'm just going to cut some strips off. I don't even want to look at them. And then I'll put the rest away for now. These are a lot bigger than what I need, so we'll be reducing them a little more. Okay, we're going to set that right there. Ooh, okay, those turned out really nice. So those are some pretty flowers. I don't know if you can see them really well. I don't know if I need to put them in a bouquet in order for you to see them or not. Okay, so we're going to take one of these, and now we're going to get to the meat of this video. And that would be Cora. She does not like her mom being gone. Makita wants nothing to do with her. Makita is literally antisocial. She was great with Bandit. But yeah, she's not really liking the dog here. Hey, Cora, come here. She don't listen to me either. I'm not her mom. Okay, so dun dun dun. Hopefully this is a color that's going to look good with this. Like I said, I made this focal before. It turned out great, but I didn't like the color bead that I used with it. It was another flower, and I didn't like it. So I'm using a white base. I probably should have washed my hands, but oh well. The worst part, again, for me is the placement. And it would be really nice if I could flatten this and then put all the flowers on it, but I have not been able to do that really well. Okay, so let me find the flower that I want to use with this, which is going to be that blue one that we made the other day. And I should have a small cane of it somewhere. But of course, when I need a small cane, I cannot find them. So we're going to pull that out. And let's see if I have it over here by chance. I don't seem to see it, so it is what it is. Okay, so the meat of this is the way we wrap this. So this is a little different. So I've got some green and yellow, orange and pink, and some blue and purple. And I think that is all that I have. Okay, and this is made with translucent clay. So what I did was I made a Skinner blend by taking translucent clay and adding a little bit of color to it. Okay, made the Skinner's blend, made it into a fan fold, stretched it out, and then I put white in between it. Okay, and the great thing about this is you just need a tiny bit. So I'm going to kind of make this even. Oh, actually that might be good enough, because it's just going to be a really thin piece. And it can get a little tricky, as you can see. And we're just going to grab a strip of it. So I cut that in 3. Hold on, that might be a really big bead. Oh well, we're going to make a big focal. I don't care. Okay, and we're just going to wrap it with some of that color. And we'll start with 2 for now. Okay. I'm going to put this to the side. Grab some purple and do the same thing. And I'm going to take 1 strip of green. Might as well get that started as well. Okay, that's a little thicker, so we're going to thin this out. Definitely not a happy camper. She comes over all the time, but there are certain times when she just does not like being away from her mom. Alright, so let's go ahead and I'm going to roll this in real quick. Okay. And as you can see, I'm not having it all face one way. I'm just kind of putting them on any which way. This is pretty thin, but I'm going to go just a little. Alright, so I'm a little bit of pink and orange. And if you do what I did and not get a perfect slice, that's okay. It'll work out just as well. Try and go as thin as you possibly can. We're going to put some yellow right there. And finish that off over there. I'm going to just take this big old strip right here and cover this whole area. Okay, and I want to do one more green and yellow. I'm just going to cut just a tiny strip. And we might do one more purple. Actually, we have that purple there, but it's really thick. So we're just going to grab a really thin slice like that. Nice. Okay, so that should have it all wrapped up. I don't know why my screen looks really dark today. Okay, so now we're just going to make sure this is a big focal. Okay, so now this is where I get worried. So I did a purple flower, that watercolor flower that we did a while ago, and it was okay, but it kind of made the bead lose its flow. So I'm going to try and avoid that. Okay, I don't want to go too small. I'm just going to cut an end off of it. And again, you want this really thin. Now it's a little squishy, so I just keep doing like a quarter turn to keep them round. Sometimes you gotta be careful. I don't want to set that one down, so. Okay, so now we're just going to kind of lay these in different spots all the way around. That one's kind of broken. I got a flying bug here, so I'm gonna go 1, maybe 2, 3 more. One more right there. Okay, so we're going to leave that like that. So this is the one that we just made, and I'm just going to kind of put it up there, but not put it all the way up there. I think it'll look okay. I hope it'll look okay, because that's what I'm going with. Okay, let's try that again. Fire helicopter. We live on the flight path of where all your military planes take off. We are in a city that builds them all. But we're also in a flight path for the fire department helicopter. Okay, that one I don't like. When it goes down below the hill to the valley when they airlift somebody. Yeah, I want a lot of flowers in here, as you can see. Okay, maybe 2 or 3 more. And then we're going to go ahead and get this back into a round shape. Yeah, I'm really here. She doesn't want to listen to me here. But I don't want to cover all of the color in there. I don't know. I got one more in my hand, so that's why I want to use it. Oh well, that's where it ends up. Okay, so let me go ahead and do this again. Okay, and you just want to go really easy so you don't distort any of the flowers. Which I already did right there. So I'm just going to come back in here and fix it. I'm going to have this in my lap, so you're not going to see me, but I'm just putting it in my hand and going back and forth, making it into a round bead. Okay, so this is what we got so far. And I've got this little white flower, which I know how to make these, but I ran out. And this particular flower is from Meg Newberg. Oh, you know, I could put a bee. I do have a bee. I could put a couple bees on this. I mean, there's so many things I can do with this one. But I don't know. I fell in love with this bead when I made it last week just to play around. And I just have a feeling I'm going to be making a lot more, because I'm kind of liking the bright beads. And then I get a kick in my butt. It says keep making more until you get tired of bright beads. Not quite summer yet. This is definitely springy. Okay, so I'm gonna set one of those right there, and a couple of them I'll put like right next to each other, like a little cluster. Okay, so we're gonna put a cluster right there. And if there's no room for a cluster, then I'll just do it normal. Just put them here and there. Okay, I'm going to put it back in my hands, unroll it a little more. That's why you want to try and get it as thin as you can, because then it won't take as long to blend these into your bead. And this is why I don't make the shape first, because then I would literally have to use like a knitting needle or something to get them all in there, and I really am not that good with that. That's when I get a lot of distortion. But if that's easier for you, then do that. I have some pink ones like this that I make, but I don't know if I want to use pink in here or not. For this one I'm not, but I may add some pink flowers in the future. Okay, I'm just trying to find out if there's any really big spots that I can do another bundle. There. And it's okay if they touch the other flowers. Uh-oh. That one's going to be a little hard to get off. Just saw a really good spot. Put another bundle. Okay, well, it's knowing when to stop, right? And that's a little hard for me to do as well. So I'm going to hit pause really quick. I'm going to wash my hands because they're really sticky, and that might also be keeping me from having this flow in my hands a little better. So let me hit pause and I'll be right back. Okay, so We're not quite perfect here. We've got a couple with the translucent. It's kind of tough to get them to all lay nice and flat, especially if they're thicker than they should be, which is why you want them a little thinner. But by doing this, I take a big chance in distorting. So it's just gonna have to wait. And it's really weird because it feels weird in my hand, like it's one giant air bubble, and I know there's no air bubbles in here, but it's just weird. It's not squishy, it's kind of like puffy, like a blister, like you can feel something inside. So that's not good. All right, but we're gonna stop right there. So now the biggest part is wondering what you want to look like in the front, and that way you can figure out where exactly you want to lay your bead. You know, where do you want the front, where do you want the back? And that's why the placement is extremely important. So I kind of do this, unfortunately. I don't mind that part right there. Be nice to get one orange, one blue. Because once you do this, you can't really change your mind. All right, I'm gonna do this as the top. I don't know why, but, and basically I'm just putting the bead in my palm, putting my palm on top, and squishing it. Okay, and that's gonna give me my donut without rolling it into like the start of a swirl bead like I used to do, because I was still getting a lot of distortion. And I just kind of move it on my palm, and that's like a really good size, and it's nice and round. Okay, and now if I want to put a hole in it, then I have to figure out, okay, which side do I like the orientation for a hole? You know, so I want it like that. Probably right here. And if I were to turn it around, that sounds good. Okay. So I'm just going to put the hole center right here. And I'm using something different. I'm using a mandrel. Because so far it seems to be the only thing that hasn't really distorted it. Now you can get these at a welding shop. Oh, look at that. See? Right in the center. Those two beads that I made in that necklace, a lot of the holes, they were in the center, but they didn't come out quite in the center, and I didn't like that as well, which is another reason why I'm redoing it. And then I stuck a mandrel through there this morning, and it worked perfectly. Okay, so this is our focal bead, guys. We are going to go ahead and put this in the oven. I'm just trying to make sure that it's round, because you know I like the lentil shape. I hate to turn my oven on just for this, but just want to make sure this still goes through. I'm not going to worry about it past that point. I'm going to go stick this in the oven, and we'll show you what it looks like when it comes out sanded and buffed. So we'll see you later. Bye. Alrighty guys, so I was impatient. I still have to polish this bead. I polished one side, but I just wanted to show you how cool this bead is. Let me get a towel, something white so you can really see it, but everything that I own has got paint and everything else on it. But anyways, look at that. So see how all those colors came out on the other side? And then this is the other side that I kind of polished. So you can see it come out a little bit better, but I've got a lot more sanding to do. But I just wanted to polish it really quick so that you could see it. And I can get this video up. So I'm going to play with this. This is the one that I did the other night. And as you can see, I used that purple flower. And I didn't really like it. I didn't like the placement of it and stuff like that. I do like the placement of this a little better, but I'm not sure if I like the oranges or not. So, I don't know, maybe a pink would look good. I'm not sure yet, so I'm just going to play around and make a bunch of them. But I wanted to come back and at least show you how cool that looks with the Skinner Blend striped cane that's just translucent. And it's amazing what you can do with it. I would love to make a veneer of this. Wouldn't this look cool for a pair of earrings? Just make a really pretty veneer. I think it'll look really good. So anyways, that's it guys. Have a happy Sunday, and we will talk to you in a few days. Bye.